You ready to get into what 2020 has brought us?
Oh yeah,
This late this month, actually.
late this month. It's still October as of recording this. This is the last,
True
not
that.
October. It's the last day of September.
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I was gonna say it
So
will
you're
be
listening
October.
to this in October,
Right.
in a few days from now.
Um, zombie storms. Yes.
Okay. Well, should I do YouTube?
I would do Google.
Okay.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Convosaries. I am Reg Travels.
And I'm Trevan, the chosen one.
Trevan,
R.J.
I got a joke for you, bro.
All right.
You ready for this one?
Let's hear it.
I mean, it's a banger. You ready for this one? You know I
Yeah.
love a good dad
Don't
joke.
overhype it now.
All right, you know what?
Let's
you're,
hear it.
You're right. All right, so why did the blind man fall into the well?
Because he couldn't see that well.
He couldn't see that well. Dang it, you knew this one.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro.
It was a good one, though.
That took me a second. I was like, should I just let him have it?
All right, check this one out.
I,
There was a blind man, right? He walked into a bar.
because he, never mind.
Go ahead, go ahead.
Because he couldn't see it.
Dang it! He couldn't see it coming.
So,
Oh, I guess he should have saw it coming. Dang it! I hate messing up jokes,
so
man.
two girls walk into a bar,
Okay.
and the third one ducks.
What?
She ducked under it.
Ah. That's a good one. Okay, I haven't heard that one. Welcome to Convo Series, and that was a good joke.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another week.
Another
us again today.
week. Another one.
No Dash, he's busy.
Dash is busy today.
But yeah, we got quite a show for you, I suppose. The debates were last night, as of recording this.
As of recording, yes, the debates, the
So-
versus battle. Everybody was talking about. Or one tweet I retweeted personally said the debates looked like an episode of Love and Hip Hop Reunion. Yeah, that I mean it was reminiscent of that.
I didn't want to watch it. We went to the food truck festival
We did,
last night,
we did.
and while it was airing live,
Yeah,
and I was like, I know I should watch it, but I really don't want to. I wasn't going to. And
yeah.
then when I got home, I was like, I know there's gonna be just a massive wave of memes.
Oh
So
yeah,
At least for the memes, I gotta watch it.
it was a good one.
And I gotta say,
Very
I guess I'm
entertaining.
glad I did.
Mm.
I mean, not that it made me feel any different
Uh
about,
huh. I knew exactly what was
Politics.
gonna happen.
but it's, I guess, important to know what's going on,
Uh huh.
even if it's all a dog and pony show.
Dog and Pony Show. We like some entertainment. That's exactly what they gave us. But before, let's hold off on the debate for right now.
We'll get into that.
We're definitely gonna get into that. Today in Netflix, Trevin.
Oh, dun 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 dun. Today in Netflix.
Today in
That's a new one.
Netflix. I like that one. I like it. I like it.
That's a little more
Last
catchy.
week was good too.
Yeah.
Last week was good too. I was very involved in that one.
I'm trying to be on it.
So it's actually on Hulu, but I watched a movie. It's not new. It's something I've been wanting to watch. Hidden Figures.
I was gonna say Hamilton.
No, a different
Even
H.
though I know you didn't watch it.
Started with a different H. I
You
told
said
you I
what?
was.
Sorry, say it again.
Hidden Figures.
Hidden Figures.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to watch this movie. Like before it actually came out in the theaters. Just never went to the theaters. And then when it came out on like streaming services and all that stuff, you had to buy it. I wasn't trying to do that. And then a few days ago, Terrence told me, he was like, RJ. I was like, what? And he said, Hidden Figures is on Disney Plus. And I was like, oh shoot. And so I watched it.
Did you say Hulu? You're changing your story.
I did, didn't I? It's definitely Disney Plus. Whatever the last thing I said is that. Disney Plus. So I watched it. It was a great movie. Do you know what it's about?
I don't.
Okay, so let me just tell you who's in it. Taraji P. Henson. You know who that is?
Nope. You look like surprised. Look,
Kinda.
If you can't hold me to, if you show me, I might. But when you tell somebody and they're like, I don't know who that is. Oh, okay, I recognize her.
Yeah, yeah. We're gonna have to put that image up. So Taraji P. Henson. You might have to look up the next one too.
Okay.
Octavia Spencer. Have you ever seen that movie, The Help?
Uh, not fully, like not really,
Okay, I don't know
but I know
which.
the movie. I know the story.
She won an Oscar for that role. Um, and then this one, Janelle Monae. You know Janelle Monae, right?
Hold on, who was the second one? Octavia.
Right there, the first one. Yeah,
Let's pull her up. Oh, okay,
yeah,
yeah.
exactly. She's in that.
I
And
don't know
then
where I know her from, but she's in like a lot of
a
shit,
lot
huh?
of stuff. Yeah, she's an Oscar winner, man. She's a great actress. Great actress. Um, and then Janelle Monae. You know Janelle Monae,
Nope.
the singer. And she's beautiful, such a beautiful woman. But her acting is incredible. Also, yeah, the first one, Janelle Monae. Um,
Oh,
have you ever seen her before?
I kind of recognize her.
Yeah,
She looks familiar.
she's in it. Mahershala Ali is in it. Have you ever seen The Green Book? Probably not.
Nope.
Yeah,
Who?
Mahershala SH. I may I'm probably spelling it wrong. Oh, there it is, Mahershala Ali. Um, anyway, he's a really good actor too. He's an Oscar winner. He's gonna be playing the new Blade when that comes out via Marvel and Disney. But they're all in. It's some other people in it. Kirsten Dunst is in it. I know you know who that is.
I do.
Yeah, she's in it. She's acting. Her acting is really good too. But anyway, so it's about NASA in the space program. So Taraji P. Henson, Janelle Monae, and Octavia Spencer play these three women that basically were computers before actual computers.
Okay.
Yeah, so they did
They're like
numbers,
smart.
calculations, and
Okay.
stuff. Yeah. Octavia Spencer's character plays the engineer or aspiring engineer. No, that's Janelle Monae. Octavia, she had a bigger part. I don't want to say. But anyway, so these ladies, without them, basically, we wouldn't have gotten a man into space in
Okay.
1961. It's about the space race against the Russians and all, and they have a big deal about Sputnik.
Because you need powerful computers to
Yeah,
make the calculations to put something into orbit,
exactly.
and
And to bring it back.
we did that before computers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so actually during the movie, IBM, the big
This is about
computers.
a true story. This is
True
about the
story, yeah.
real space race. Okay.
Yeah. This is based on a true story. And at the end, they show you the three ladies that they're talking about or that these women portrayed. So, and then the big IBM machine comes in, and then that's where Octavia Spencer, her part comes in with the IBM machine and all. And then Taraji P. Henson's character was the actual computer making the calculations, fact checking everybody, which was a huge deal back in 1961. Was
Mm-hmm.
segregation and all too.
Yeah.
But it's incredible. And then they go on to talk about how they helped with the moon landing and all. So it was a very good movie. It was actually pretty comical too.
That
There were a lot of
sounds
comical
interesting.
parts.
I might check it out.
It's really good.
I
It's really
might.
good. I recommend it.
But like what I'm saying is, you tell somebody like, oh, you don't know who that is, and they're like, somebody everybody knows. How do you not know? Did
Yeah.
you live under a rock? I don't know who anybody is.
Oh yeah, I've
When we're
noticed.
talking movies, now that's just movies. Like,
Yeah.
I know other stuff, but I
Yeah,
don't
no, I
watch
get it.
movies. I don't know all the big movie stars. I know that
Always
Tom Cruise is about 3'7".
that's accurate.
I know that, uh, and he's a Scientologist.
Yes, the biggest one. Well, the most popular one, I think. But yeah, I agree. I agree. I
Who is
understand that. I
that?
thought I was the person that didn't really know a lot of actors and actresses, which I got to be better.
I gotta Google it because I
Oh, the
cannot
King of Queens
think
lady.
of her name ever. I
She
know
has a
her name.
podcast. I forget her name too.
Where's the cast here? Where's it gonna show me?
I forget her name. Dang it.
There we go.
That's a good show though, by the
Leah
way.
Remini.
Leah Remini.
Yeah, she came out as a Scientologist, or she
Mhm.
was a Scientologist for a long time, and she came out against
Yeah,
Scientology.
that's what her
Um,
podcast is about.
yeah, didn't she like write a book? And I
Yeah,
saw her
tell
talk
all.
about it once or twice on Joe Rogan,
Mm-hmm.
and then I wonder if that's what sparked her podcast, or I wonder if she was doing it before that.
No, the podcast is after she came out with the tell all and all that stuff. That's after that. So, I mean, it's a product of it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know how long after that she was on Joe Rogan talking about it,
Hmm.
which I saw. So I don't know. Like maybe she was on Joe Rogan talking about it and was like, "Oh, maybe this is a really good platform
Yeah.
to talk about shit like
Mm.
this." but maybe not. Maybe she started talking about it on her podcast when the book came out, and then, or like around the same timeline,
Mm-hmm.
and then she was on Joe Rogan. Not that it mattered. Just an interesting thought.
I got you. Um, before we move on to the next thing, because 2020 has brought us something incredible
Something
every month.
else.
Something else. Let's give a shout out to Dre to Fly.
Oh, hey, shouts out Dre to Fly.
Shouts out
if
to
you're
you, Dre to
listening.
Fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we met him. You want to tell the story?
So we went to film Jameer's last show under the name Nobody. Shouts out to Jameer.
Shouts out.
From a couple of weeks ago, we had him on, local rapper. So go check out that episode. I can't tell you what number it is, but
35, I think.
yeah. Okay.
I think.
All right.
Damn.
Yeah. He was 35 or 36.
No, 36 was Alabama Takeover. We had him on before that. 37? Then he was 36.
Yeah, I think so.
You'll see it. Just go check.
But yeah, so we went to see his show here in Salt Lake. It was his last show under the name Nobody. Now he goes by Casper from the Lake. So shouts out to Casper from the Lake and check him out.
Yes.
But yeah, we met this. He went on right before him.
Like two
Dre
people
Too Fly?
before. Dre to Fly, yeah.
I think he was right before, wasn't he?
No, there was one other guy right before.
No, you're right. You're right. But we saw him leaving, and I was like, "Hey, man, that was a great show." I mean, I think you called out to him and was like, "Hey, man."
Yeah, I did. Yeah.
So yeah, we chatted with him in the parking lot, and I think we're trying to get him on soon.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe next week.
He has
No promises?
his music is really good. So when he went on his first song, about halfway through it, I was like, "Man, this guy is good. I gotta check him out on Spotify." And then at the end of that song, he shouted out his Spotify or his name or whatever. And then I went and immediately followed him. And all the songs after were really good.
I can't lie. I followed him when I got home on Instagram and on Spotify,
same.
and I've been bumping him in the truck ever since. But yeah, no, he put on a great show, and he was like, he really had captivated the audience. He really had, and he's a young kid.
Yeah.
He had figured out like how to get the people going, and it's really cool for a small local show to see the crowd interact that way.
Yeah, I was
these
clapping.
shows can be more intimate than bigger shows too.
Yeah.
And that's not to take anything away from the homie Jameer, because
Nothing at all.
He had a great
He
show
did
as well. He
his
put on
thing.
y'all, but we were expecting him to. We were there to
Right.
see him. We weren't expecting
I knew
to
that,
be
yeah.
blown away by this other guy as well.
Right.
So, yeah, he was like, he said he's just recently been recording. He's fairly new.
Yeah.
Fairly fresh.
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
game.
yeah.
And
I was
this was
surprised.
his first show. That's what really surprised me is watching this kid on stage. You would swear that he's been doing these shows all summer.
Yeah.
Like perfecting it.
Right, right.
And I've done these local shows. I haven't played there, or I guess not played. I don't know. I haven't done a show there.
Right.
But, I've been to my friends' shows locally that are about that caliber, and I've done shows about that caliber locally. So it's sometimes hard to get an audience to really participate like that at that level if you're not on top of it.
Right.
So yeah, shouts out. That was
Kid
really
did
cool.
a good job, man.
No, he's great. And like I said, we did record it, so hopefully you get to see that footage sometime soon.
Right. So shouts out to you, Dre to Fly.
Yeah, shouts out. And Jameer.
And Jameer, shouts
AKA
out.
Nobody, aka Casper from the Lake.
Hells yeah. You ready to get into what 2020 has brought us?
Oh yeah.
Late this month, actually.
Late this month. It's still October as of recording this. This is the last.
True that.
Not October. It's the last day of September. Excuse me.
I was gonna say it will be
you're
October.
listening to this in October.
Right.
In a few days from now.
Zombie storms. Yes.
Okay. Should I do YouTube?
I would do Google.
Okay.
It'll explain it. Zombie storms. Yes. Shouts out to Tez because he is the one that told me about this. I was like, "What?" And I looked it up. Yes, I think that one. Or no, the first one. Yeah.
Any of them?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. So I'm just gonna read this.
Yes.
It's
It's a quick read.
The headline, and let's make sure this is from somebody. Okay.
reputable.
I don't even see a site. Space.com.
That seems reputable, right?
It does. To get space.com, like they had to be the first one. This website's got to have existed for
Yeah.
decades. So let's see here.
I just kind of skipped down to figure out exactly what they
I
were.
was going to read the headline real quick.
Go ahead.
Zombie storms are rising from the dead thanks to climate change. Now, that's a provocative statement.
Hey, man, I get it.
I'm really interested to see. Wildfires are burning on the west coast. Wildfire.
Wildfires.
I don't know where that came. Wildfires are burning on the west coast. Hurricanes are flooding the southeast, and some of those storms are rising from the dead. Zombie storms, which regain strength after initially petering out, are the newest addition to the year 2020.
Yes.
And these undead weather anomalies are becoming more common thanks to climate change.
Thank you, climate change.
Well, I mean, if you listen to the debate the other night, there's no such thing as climate change.
This is go up a little bit. This is where it kind of like starts explaining.
Earlier this month, Tropical Storm Paulette formed in the Atlantic Ocean and made a landfall in Bermuda as a Category 1 hurricane. According to CNN, it then strengthened over land to a Category 2 hurricane before weakening and dying off 5.5 days later. Okay, so the hurricane, usually it hits land and the land slows it down and stops it.
Right.
After it destroys the coast, of course. All the
Exactly,
cities.
yeah.
But it kind of fizzles out because it's a water. It's an ocean
Water-based storm. Yeah, exactly.
So this is saying that the storm like rises from the dead on land.
Yeah.
While landlocked.
Uh-huh.
And then travels back out to the coast.
Yeah, it'll tell you.
Weakening and dying off 5.5 days later. Paulette regained strength and became a tropical storm once more, about 300 miles away from the Azores.
That works.
Islands.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that. On Monday, September the 21st, according to CNN. The term zombie storm is new, and though the phenomenon has been recorded before, it is thought to be rare. Oh, yeah.
And then they go on to say that
It's
zombie
gonna happen more
storms,
often.
are going to be happening more often. Yeah.
That's crazy.
Zombie storms, everybody.
Zombie storms.
2020.
What the hell, dude?
I know, right? Yeah, Tez brought this to me, and I did the same thing you did. I said, what?
Maybe that was the hurricane winds. Did we talk about that? I don't think we talked about that.
The hurricane winds that we had?
We're landlocked here in Utah, right? Not only landlocked, but we are in the middle of Utah, kind of. Northern Utah. Surrounded by
valley.
Mountains pretty much on all sides.
In the valley,
yeah. And for those reasons, tornadoes are really rare.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we don't really get tornadoes. They say we don't, but
It's my favorite thing about living out here.
I think we got one a few years ago, and then we got one in like 99. So it's rare, but it does happen.
Right.
Shit, where was I going with this? Oh. I don't know if it was the Alabama takeover or if it was an episode that Tez was on right before that. But he was saying, like, y'all don't get storms out here? That's weird.
Right.
Or somebody was saying that.
Yeah.
I thought it was Tez. It could have been Tez or Terrence.
I can't remember.
That whole week is a jumble to me because we had Tez on twice, and then we had Tez, Terrence, Frog, and Simone.
Yeah.
Which was a wild night.
It was.
But shit, what was I saying?
We were talking about how like
There's
are
no
really
storms here. Right? So
yeah.
they're like, that's weird. There's no storms. And I'm like, yeah. It's just oddly we haven't had any for a few years.
Mm.
We usually get like a few rainstorms. The winters can be pretty stormy. But like in the summer, there's like some rain and some wind. And then it seems like for most of my life, every year there's like this one storm
Yeah.
that just beats every storm.
Right.
And it's the storm where I have to call my parents every week and make sure that the mobile home that they live in is still on the ground.
Right. Is the house still there where I left it?
So, like it's really crazy. Like one time, we were on the freeway and it just flash flooded, and then there was these crazy winds. We got taken off the freeway, me and my friend.
Wow.
And that same year was the last time I think we had a tornado, and it wasn't out here in Salt Lake. It was about an hour away, Ogden, where I used to live. So that scared the shit out of me. I mean, we get some crazy storms. I'm just like, it seems like now that I think about it, the last 4 years, we haven't quite had one like that. One of the crazy ones. We did have an earthquake, which was weird,
We did. We
but
did.
I just chalked that up to 2020.
Like much like the zombie storms, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. Which is I don't know. I had the same reaction, like as you had when I told you.
About the zombie
Yeah,
storms.
when Tess told me, I was like, "What are you? What?"
Yeah,
I
that's
had to
crazy.
immediately look it up, dude.
Yeah. But right after we had that conversation about we don't have storms in Utah, like the day after, we had an emergency warning for hurricane force winds.
Mm-hmm.
So like it's like we had a hurricane right here in Utah. It was
Without rain,
it was what I remember the storms being. And
I
like
was leaning like Michael
we had to
Jackson,
take the
man.
furniture down in the backyard and stuff.
Mm.
Like
Mm-hmm.
people's trampolines went flying into
Yeah.
other neighborhoods.
Yeah.
Trees were knocked over by the wind.
Oh, the trees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, like that
Liberty Park,
every
half of the
year or
trees were
two.
uprooted.
Yeah. Every year or two you would drive around Ogden after like the day after the storm and like everybody's trees would be knocked over in their
Yeah.
yard. And Ogden's an old town, so it's got a lot of big old trees.
Mm-hmm.
And that shit's crazy. But yeah. So we got a little bit of that. I just thought it was funny that they're like, "You guys don't have crazy storms out here. It's
And
like
then
nice
boom.
and safe." And then boom, hurricane in the middle of Utah.
Yeah, it was whoever was it Tez on the episode before Alabama takeover?
I think it probably was, but
So
I'm not totally
it was
sure.
Tez then,
Yeah.
because I remember talking about uh, Simone and Frog coming, and this was like the day before they came. I was like, good thing they're not here today.
Yeah.
That's when the storm happened. So yeah,
Yeah.
2020, the gift that keeps on giving.
Hopefully it's over, but I keep hearing religious freaks say that like, oh, 2021's gonna be. You thought 2020 was bad.
Yeah.
The Christians think the rapture's coming. And now here's the thing: is that the Christians have been saying this forever, right? The end is near. You see him on the corner.
Yeah.
Actually, we were recording a music video downtown, and there was a whole fucking crowd of the Jesus people. One guy was playing a guitar in the front. They were just like mobbing through the
Mobbing.
streets with signs. And not all Christians. I'm not calling Christians crazy. I'm just saying there's crazy people in every group of people.
Absolutely.
But I know a lot of Christians, man. They really think the end is coming right now.
Well, I've been hearing that nonstop from people, but anyway, I'm just like, I'll see what the season finale or series finale is in December.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if something does happen biblical, because you know me.
Yeah,
I don't really.
I don't wish that on us.
I don't partake of the
I
sacrament.
don't wish that on us.
I
No.
don't, but I mean, think about it. I think we talked about this idea before, but if you got to see the end of the world, like it's fucked up and it's scary, and it would suck.
Hmm.
But
I
think
agree so
about
far.
the beauty in being one of the only people in the history of people. Think about like 90%. Actually, I shouldn't say numbers unless I'm going to look it up. But the majority of people who have ever existed in the history are dead, right? In the history of the world, human population.
Mm.
Most people who've ever existed are gone. And so, like, of all of the things that people have gotten to see, there's a lot of shit in human history that we didn't get to see. We didn't get to be a part of them building the pyramids, and you know what I mean? Like, it would be an honor, I think, to see it happen.
You can have that honor. I'm not trying to
not-
see the end of the
I'm
world,
not
bro.
saying I want it to happen. I'm not saying that, like, you know what I mean? Like, a lot of people
No,
bullshit.
I
Like,
get where
wanna
you're
see the
coming
end of the
from.
world. I can't wait for the zombie apocalypse.
You're trying to find the beauty in
I
a
think,
bowl of
I think
shit.
it is a beautiful thing. Well, destruction is beautiful.
To anarchists. But no, I get where
To
we're
me, the
coming from.
anarchist.
I just wouldn't. I'd hate it.
No, I would too. I
Fucking
would be
hate it.
scared shitless.
Yeah.
I would not be like okay.
Mm.
I wouldn't. I don't know if I would be able to keep my head. and like on those movies and try to like survive and figure shit out
Yeah.
and be resourceful. I think I would just chill.
Told you, I'm out
Cry.
in the third wave. I'm gone. Cause after that, bullshit.
I think if it's something spectacular like the 2012 thing, right? Like they thought that it was gonna,
They
the
said
Earth was gonna
this
blow
year
up
is
and
the original
super volcano.
2012
Oh yeah,
because
they got it.
we're missing a lot of years or some shit.
No, it was because the guy that deciphered it was dyslexic.
Oh.
He deciphered the Mayan calendar. He got 2012 instead of 2021.
Okay, well, there's that.
That's not real.
All right, well.
I didn't think you were gonna be so. Oh, really? Oh, okay.
This is Convosaries. Whatever you say, I'm taking. Face value. Face value.
That's what it's all about, folks.
That's what it's about, people. Listening to this podcast. Take it at face value and then don't and go do your research because we will not be liable for that.
We're here to plant ideas in your brain.
That's all.
Like seeds.
That is all.
But you shouldn't take anything that we say seriously. Well, you can. You can tell, I think,
You'll know.
when we're
You'll
being
know.
serious, but we like to have a lot of fun.
Hell yeah. Speaking of the end of life as we know it, let's talk about this debate.
Okay, let's do it.
Before we get into
The
it,
debate.
yeah,
Okay, yeah.
the not so great debate. Oh, that might be the title. Or the great debaters. Or master debaters.
Master debaters.
The master debaters. Yes, that's it.
Yeah,
You
heard
guys
it
heard
here.
it right here, but you knew the title. So before we get into that shit show of the other night or last night for us, I would like to say that the next presidential debate will be right here in this city,
Yeah.
Salt Lake City,
The University
at
of
the
Utah
University
campus?
of Utah. Yes,
Yeah.
about what 15 minutes up the road from me. Oh,
Yeah.
that's right. I forget that I'm here.
We're a little bit outside of the city here, the
Yeah.
studio. But yeah, it's go to the city and then you just head east toward the mountain. And it's like right at the base of the
Yeah.
mountain.
Yeah. So we will be hosting that. I wish Convosaries could be a part of that, but
I wish
the
like,
city
we
would be
could
hosting.
be there live.
I
That
know,
would be
right?
So cool.
I was thinking about that today. Just like on Instagram
But
Live, just
I wouldn't be able to
coming
keep
back.
my
Look at
mouth
these
shut.
motherfuckers
Like,
right
if
here.
you watch the debate from the beginning,
Oh,
they
yeah.
said like they had a small social distanced crowd, but they did have a crowd live, and the crowd had agreed not to make any noise, so they weren't gonna applaud
Mm.
or cheer or anything.
It was kind of quiet. I wonder if we can
until
get
the
in.
very end, and they like let them
You
clap.
think we can get in?
Should we? Should we try to wait? Yeah, no. This episode will air before.
It'll
Next
air
debate.
before. Okay.
Should, right?
I want to see how to get in.
Yeah, I
That's
was
interesting.
thinking about trying to get in just myself, just to be there.
Same.
Just to see if like, should we take hidden cameras, you guys?
Wear a GoPro right here. No. It's my seeing eye
You could get
camera.
some glasses, bro. You see those like vloggers and hidden camera YouTubers?
Yeah.
You get them glasses.
I think Tez actually has some.
You're shitting me.
The Google glasses.
Not the Google glasses.
Oh, okay.
Those
But
might be
you
able
could
to
record.
though.
Or maybe his were like Snapchat glasses. I can't remember.
But no, the Google Glass was like some dumb looking shit, if I remember correctly.
It's just my seeing eye camera, sir.
It was like one side, and it was like I don't know. I don't remember. It was dumb though.
Yeah, the first iteration was stupid.
I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, first iteration was dumb as a rock. There it is, the big ass. I mean, but they weren't actually meant to
This
be
thing.
inconspicuous.
This is like actual glasses, though.
That's what I remember.
I mean, I know they're not meant to be inconspicuous, but it's kind of like douchey looking.
Oh, for sure.
Kind of like the AirPods. But I guess before AirPods, I was into just the little one-piece Bluetooth talk set, the little fucking earpiece
Yeah,
that's been around since like 2000.
I had one since like 2000
I-
or some shit.
I just always
Not
wanted
2000.
to have one, and so like when I was an adult, I was like, I'm getting one, and then I just like I lost them, but I always kept.
I had one when I was a teenager.
Yeah, I grew out of it at some point.
I grew out of it within a year. I was like, this is stupid. I'd rather just pull my phone up to my ear and talk.
But I think especially with these new ones, like.
But I have the Raycons though. Shouts out to Raycon.
Shouts out to Raycon, who is sponsoring a bunch of YouTubers. Hey,
You
like,
could definitely sponsor
yeah,
us.
do you have any shows in Utah that you sponsor? I doubt it.
Right. Oh, also, they have come out with a new headphone earbud for Raycon. I have the first two iterations. This is the third one, so I'm gonna get that
I
anyway.
don't know if I've seen
But
the
if you
new ones.
wanna send us some free ones, Raycon,
Yeah, we'll try them out on air. We'll tell you all about them.
we'll definitely do a
Give them a
review of it
review.
for sure. I like
Um,
mine so far.
yeah, I mean, I don't have any, but like, I tried to get back into it when they had the big ones that went around your neck when those were becoming
Yeah.
popular, and like,
I wasn't a big fan of
well,
those.
I had a job where I could listen to my headphones, and it was easier than having a big thing. Like,
Right. Like at my job, I listen to my headphones all the time, all day, and everybody knows it. My bosses know, everybody knows it. But it's like the Raycons I have. They just like I just
that's the thing
stop it.
too. If you got long hair, or if you work outside and you can put a beanie on or something,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
it doesn't even matter. Like, and I'm not advocating listening to music if you work in a job where you handle like dangerous machinery or anything like that.
Unless you're allowed to.
Yeah, but I think like I would have killed to have something like that when I was in school.
Right. Right.
Because we used to hide the big. I
The
mean, it was just a little
cords
earbud, but with
inside
the
our
long
hoodies.
cord. And then like I'm just thinking about like when I was in Job Corps. Um, this guy got me onto Dizzy, right?
Mhm.
And it's like that college kid music kind of, but it's like that chill lo-fi study kind of shit too. You know what I mean? Like that was my first introduction to something like that,
Okay.
and it made me want to just smoke weed and study,
Okay.
like just listening to it. Like it was very like he was very positive and like we're moving forward kind of attitude, and it got me inspired. So I would like, and we weren't allowed to have phones up in there,
Mhm.
like. So he had like an MP3 player, Dizzy Wright, and like I would sneak it in computer class, and it would help me get more shit done. Cause I hate working. Like I hate not working, but like I hate like schoolwork kind of shit. Like I never did
Right.
school. Like I was never in school, and if you could find me in class, I was sleeping or I was doodling.
I was gonna say, were you one of those doodlers?
I was a doodler. I was definitely a doodler.
Yeah.
I was like a sketch artist. I would sketch and sketch and sketch all day if I was in school, but most of the time it wasn't. Most of the time I was. Well, that's another story.
That's a different story for a different time. Um, so let's just jump right in. Trump pays $750
So that came out, yeah.
in taxes for the past 2 years, I think.
Yeah, that's astonishing as a fucking billionaire.
Yes, but asked in the debate how much he paid in taxes, he said millions.
The thing is, I this is the argument that I've heard,
Okay,
and I'm not saying that I side with this argument, but I'm just going to put it out there.
let's hear it.
That he has sacrificed his presidential salary because he already has money, which he said he was going to do at the beginning of running.
Hmm.
Um, so the 3 years plus that he's been president,
$400,000 a year
he has
each year. Yeah,
he has put that into. Um, he's pretty much
you
just
could.
not taken that
I was gonna
out
say,
of
yeah.
taxes.
So with that, you could classify that as like every year. I've heard it explained for tax purposes. So every year, whatever if you have losses, you can claim that loss up to 4 years. So say his presidential loss is $400,000.
Hmm.
For the first year of his presidency, he could claim that as a loss, right? And so that loss can be split up into 4 years. So $400,000, he could claim $100,000 of a loss the first year, and then he still has $300,000 of losses he could claim for the next consecutive 3 years. But it's just things like that that are loopholes, which I
Exactly.
can't really be completely mad because as soon as I find a loophole, I'm using that motherfucker.
And that's the whole thing about the free market. That's the whole thing about free capitalism, right?
Mm.
That's what it's supposed to be.
I
It's
actually
like,
really enjoy capitalism. People may, hey, you know what? At me, I don't care. At Reg Travels, follow the podcast. Um,
but that's another part
I
of the
like it.
argument, right? Is
Yeah,
like and he addressed that I think in the debate too. He mentioned that like I'm a businessman.
he
How many
addressed it vaguely. Yes.
ask other businessmen of my caliber,
Hmm.
and they're really good at business and they're really good at the logistics of things.
Right.
They are going to find loopholes, especially when you own a lot of assets and you donate to charity or whatever it is. You have tax write-offs.
Right.
So business people are smart about using that and moving
Exactly.
to states where the tax laws are different. And a lot of companies take their business out of the states.
Right.
What is it? Puerto Rico? I don't want to misquote this. Don't make me sing.
Puerto Rico.
It's U.S. territory.
Yes.
Okay, it is Puerto Rico then. Businessmen will move to Puerto Rico because they don't have the same tax. Like they don't have business tax there, I think. So it's just the place to be a capitalist.
Okay, I got you. Well, we have Puerto Rico and Guam.
But anyway, that's what business people do, and that's why they're so ahead. That's how they get ahead, is because they have a system that legally allows them to work their way into doing what they want. So if he did it legally, then what can we say? Is the argument.
There is no argument from this end. Because, like I said, as soon as I am able to find a loophole for, paying taxes, I'm doing that, man.
Exactly. And especially if it's legal, right?
Especially.
And maybe we should look up the numbers and see what other billionaires of his caliber actually pay in taxes.
Well, I know
it's
they
probably
said
not much.
Joe Biden, he has probably paid the most of. I'm not gonna misquote, but anyway, his tax returns came out. His and Kamala Harris's, Senator Harris, excuse me, came out, and Joe Biden is paying about $300,000 per year in taxes, and then he's only getting back about, I can't remember, somewhere between $40,000 and $60,000 in what are they called?
Tax breaks?
Income tax,
Mm.
like getting it back. So I mean that seems pretty on par, if you think about it.
Tax returns?
In how much he's paying in taxes and in the returns all together.
Yeah, I mean, that kind of brings me to another thing. He mentioned something, and I'm not going to be able to quote it, but he said something like, billionaires like this guy. And I'm like,
who said this?
Joe.
About Trump.
Yeah, in the debate.
Mm-hmm.
He says something along those lines, like as taking a little jab.
Yeah.
And then explains to us why he's a crooked billionaire. And I'm like, how much money do you have, old Joe? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
What are you pointing fingers at?
Oh, Joey.
That's the thing, and I'm not going to sit here and be like, the radical left. No, but the Democrats really do like to portray right-wing conservatives as the top dog business billionaire, capitalist, like asshole douchebag guys. But how much money does Hillary Clinton have? You know what I'm saying? Like, try to separate yourself from them that way. I see through that. At the same time, I'm not picking sides on the spectrum, I'm just saying, like,
right.
They're all kind of greedy billionaires to me.
I mean, well, they're not all billionaires, but they're all greedy,
rich
yes, and
assholes,
power hungry. I understand that. But yeah, so that's one of the things.
There's a lot of things to unpack. Like, I want to say poor Chris Wallace, right?
Yeah, the moderator.
Kind of felt bad for him, yeah. But as a moderator, he should have taken more control at the same time. And I've seen a lot of people come out saying stuff like that. Like, listening back, he does try to assert his, like, I don't want to say dominance, but to be assertive and just be like, hey, Mr. President, you're done talking. Your 2 minutes is up or whatever, right? And then they just keep talking over each other, and it was ridiculous. Like,
they were like children, man.
And yeah, and that's the thing, is a lot of the memes too. Like, I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, how Trump was acting like a 2-year-old in the debates," and I'm not disagreeing with you, but there's something, a little confirmation bias there, I think, in a lot of cases. Because if you watch the debate objectively, they were both acting like 2-year-olds.
Yeah,
I do want to say that Joe did seem to take the high road a couple of times and did seem to try to be the more mature, at least the more, would you say, presidential earlier?
Yeah.
And
until he called Trump a clown. He got fed up. He's like, you're a clown.
He tried to take it back. He said, this clown, this guy. He said, I'm sorry, this guy. That was kind of funny.
Yeah, Trump had his balls out on the table, man.
I mean,
I mean, I absolutely expected that. I expected nothing less. If we've been paying attention to what he's been doing for the past 3.5 years in office, you would have expected it. And I'm with Charlemagne the God.
pow, 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 pow.
I'm with him by when he says, if you haven't been watching this and didn't know what to expect, like if you were surprised by how he was acting and what went on by the debates, then you haven't been watching him.
Yeah, I definitely. I think I should have expected more from him. Um, but I watched it in like, and I don't pick sides, I don't have a side, but I watched it thinking he's gonna say some dumb shit,
Hmm.
and I'm gonna laugh at him. I'm not gonna agree with him, and then I watched it. And now, granted, he was acting like a 2-year-old most of the times, but he did have some like,
Bangers.
he had some good shots in there. They both did.
Yeah.
The I think the comeback of the night was the swine flu comeback from Joe.
Oh, I missed this one.
It,
What?
I can't tell you, but
Swine flu.
I'd have to do a lot of research to find out the numbers here. But basically, Trump was going on about how many people died from corona,
Hmm.
and Joe was like, he just laid out the actual numbers, just
Yeah.
point blank. He was like, well, 40,000 people died from swine flu,
Hmm.
400,000 people died from corona
Right.
so far.
Hmm.
And again, I don't know the actual numbers. I think those are fairly close,
Yeah, sure. Why not? Let's run
but
with those.
it was a good comeback, and it was, to my knowledge, truthful.
Right. 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 Yeah, this is a good one. Fucking Trump also. This one made me laugh. When I think Joe was talking about having beat Bernie Sanders or something like that, and Trump just told him, he was like, "Oh, you just lost the left."
Because he
I was
condemned
like, "Oh
Bernie.
my gosh, this man, he'll say anything out of his mouth."
He's like, oh man, what did he say? He was talking about, um, he was talking about having beat. I'm just trying to think of the conversation in my head because I know exactly what you're talking about. But um, Joe was saying like he had to be. He was talking himself up, and he was like, "Well, I made it this far. Like
Yeah,
I'm facing you," and he was like, "You haven't done anything." It was pretty much, I think, what Trump was saying,
yeah.
and he was like, "Well, I had to beat all the other Democrats. I'm here facing you
Hmm.
for like the title fight,
Yeah,
the title
yeah,
match or whatever."
yeah.
I think that's a good way to put
Yeah, that works.
it. And the world heavyweight champion.
Heavyweight.
Oh, and it's Joe Biden with a steel chair. RKO out of nowhere.
RKO. You gotta watch Kamala Harris. She's on the ropes. She's on the ropes.
Side note: have you seen the RKO memes?
I've seen 1,000 RKO memes. Which one are
Okay.
you referring to?
Just the ones where like a skateboarder falls over and
Oh
then they
yeah,
dub
for
it
sure.
over and CGI. If
Yeah.
you don't know what it is, Randy Orton's a WWE professional wrestler, and that's his finishing move, the RKO.
The RKO.
And he's kind of portrayed, or at least when I used to watch as like a kid, he was like portrayed as the bad guy.
Yeah, he was a bad guy.
And he was like kind of sneaky and kind of snake-like. They called him the Viper, the
Like
opportunist.
Edge
he
used to
would,
be.
He would like play dead and then pull out his finishing move. So it'd be like RKO out of nowhere, and then it turned into a meme. So like you got to look it up. There's compilations of
Yeah.
videos everywhere. Just like it's the funniest shit I've ever seen. Honestly, I could watch them forever. It's like some dude falls off a cliff and it's like RKO out of nowhere.
Oh, here he is. And they have the commentators and everything.
Yeah. Anyway, but back to what we were talking about. Yeah,
Master debating.
master debation.
Master debation. That's exactly what we're. Dang it, I like that one. Talking about master debation.
In this nation.
Um
Hashtag bars.
Hashtag. So back to some of these issues. What were some of the bigger issues?
I think the biggest ones for me were Corona, climate change, and the race issue.
Definitely a big one.
Not necessarily in that order, because you know me personally.
Let's talk about the
Kinda
race one.
invested in the race issue.
Yeah, let's start. Let's go
Um,
ahead, go for it. We got
I want to see where Trump was coming from in this argument. That's the problem. Like he's almost making a point. He's like,
And then he runs away in the
but
other
he's
direction.
denying it. The whole thing is he's not acknowledging the racial issues in the country,
Yeah,
which is what he was asked
yeah.
to talk about, and it was specific. This the whole time he was kind of going off in different directions. He'd be like,
Mhm.
okay, for this 2 minutes, we're talking about this subject. We're talking about Corona, and then he goes off about Antifa or
Mhm.
something. And
Mhm.
he's like, hey, we're talking about Corona. We'll talk about that in a minute.
Right.
And so he kept doing that, and like it was hard to tell sometimes if he was really trying to avoid the subject or if he was like, well, I just got a better point. There was the whole thing where he started going after Hunter Biden, which he may have had a point, but
Yeah,
in
the
the
drug
end,
thing.
he was trying to get away from what they were talking about.
Which was another banger by Joe, by the way, when Trump started going at Joe's son for being a drug addict. He came back in a classy way. He was like, "Yes, my son was a drug addict, but he got over that, and I'm proud of him for it." And a lot of people in America have family members that are, affected by drugs, and they get that point. So I thought that was a banger too.
Kind of humanized him,
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm a person
and
too.
he
Like,
lost his other son, and
just
Trump was
because
like,
I'm
"I
a
don't want to talk about
politician,
him."
and it's his son, I get it. Like, if here's the thing, if he's taking money from Russia, like, which was what Trump was saying,
Hmm.
that's
Which was all fact checked and lies.
and I'm not gonna speak on that, but I'm just saying if that's the truth, okay, like you kind of got a point.
Hmm.
I'm concerned about that. That's an issue, but I think like he was just going about it the wrong way.
Yeah. And I'd like to say that for the what was it, an hour and a half debate?
Hmm.
That entire time, the issue of race and minorities in this country we got 103 seconds, I think it was.
It was kind of swept under the rug,
Yes.
and
When that should be a huge platform of yours
I feel like
running.
even Joe really didn't dive deep into it, right?
Neither of
Like
them
he
did.
didn't really open up about it.
Neither of
He
them did.
admitted kind of more than Trump.
He actually said that there are good cops and there are bad cops, and the bad cops need to be weeded out and justice needs to be, had. So he did say that.
And that's an entire conversation about how that's going to happen.
And then he went on to say that he does not support violence and we should protest peacefully. That was the gist of what he was saying. The gist of what Trump was saying was
It's not a
basically,
race
I've
problem.
done more for black people than any other president besides Abraham Lincoln, which is absolutely, absolutely untrue. I had to make sure. He's not done.
I can't say that he has or hasn't, but I have seen numbers like the black unemployment rate is the lowest it's ever been, or at least was before the pandemic.
Yeah.
So there are some arguments like that.
But that's also in the work from the last presidency, too. It takes years and years and years for
And
things
that's
to
an argument for sure. I don't
come to
really.
fruition.
That's the thing about
I'm not saying
politics
that
is
he didn't do anything. I'm just saying that
no,
he's
for sure.
claiming everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he
Um,
said
that's my
aside from
problem.
maybe Abraham Lincoln
Yeah,
was what
that's
I
my
think he
problem.
said.
Yeah.
And definitely, when faced with the obvious issues we're facing right now, and you turn away from that, and the moderator kept asking me, but just say, do you believe there's
Right.
racial injustice in America, or do you believe there's a racial issue we need to work on? And he just wouldn't acknowledge it.
He
That
couldn't say
was
it.
that was the whole thing that everybody's really upset about,
And
right?
he even said, when referring to black people, he even said there were people who weren't perhaps treated as equally. But he said that he wouldn't say, slavery and all this stuff was bad. And he's trying to come up with this whole new educational system, saying that, the history that we're taught in schools about how America was formed on the backs of slaves and all that stuff, and killed the Native Americans and all this stuff. He's saying that none of that is true. And he's going to create a whole new educational system to tell the quote unquote truth about how our country became so great.
Yeah, I agree that the history we're taught isn't all the truth.
Right. Agreed.
History is told by the victor, right?
Yes.
So we're definitely, I guess, victorious. I mean, I don't want to
Hmm.
sound like I'm hyping us up, but like I
Right.
mean, as Europeans who conquered America, like yeah, it happened. Like
Hmm.
they did it, and they made black people build it.
Yeah.
You know, like it's trying to be delicate about it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Like it's the history that we're taught is not true. It's not all true.
It's not
Right?
all true.
Like we idolize Christopher Columbus
Mhm.
and we sweep a lot of things like slavery under the rug.
Mhm.
Other wars we've been in, like Vietnam, was kind of an atrocity. You know, if you talk to vets who were actually there, they don't like to talk about it, and
Right.
they don't trust the government. That's a huge problem with the homeless population of Vietnam vets, right? Is like they don't trust the government. They don't want to have a social security number, a phone number, an address.
Right.
They don't want to be, you know, known by the government or tracked by the government. So definitely I agree on that front. But what it sounds like is that he's not really going to tell the truth.
Yeah, absolutely. It sounds like that.
But I mean, I'm going to have to look into it more, but it sounds like he wants to.
Well, it turned into a like the whole like I was saying going back to the 103 seconds of, time that us minorities got on racial issues. It turned into I like or you like black people less than I do. No, you like black people less than I do.
Mm-hmm.
It turned into that. It was like what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
Who cares? Do something. And
Yeah.
then Trump was saying, "Oh, well, we've got this plan to put into action to do this, this, and this." And it's like, yo, you're the president. Why aren't you just now having a plan? Why haven't you made a plan and started the execution of the
Because
plan?
he's been the president,
You've
right?
been the
Like,
president.
come on.
Yeah. So that's I mean, I knew it was going to be an issue anyway. I just kind of wanted to watch the debate to see how he was going to try to worm his way out of that. But I mean, it pretty much turned out how I expected it to, man.
Yeah, I think the best way I could sum it up is a meme that I saw, where they were their faces were superimposed over some toddlers in the back seat of a car,
Ah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
Chris Wallace, the moderator, was like the dad driving. He was like, "I swear to God, I'll turn this car around."
yeah. Right.
That's what it felt like.
That is, in fact, what it felt like, bro.
I also watched a video of a small clip of the debate where they dubbed it over with if you've seen Step Brothers,
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
argument over, "Did you touch my drum set?"
When he rubbed his balls across his drum
Yeah.
set.
Like they dubbed that audio over the actual
Trump would
debate. That was
be
funny.
Trump would be him rubbing his balls on the drum set and saying, "No, I didn't rub my balls on your drum set," because he definitely put them on the table last night.
He did.
He pulled it out and let's say, and said, "Let's play a game of who's bigger."
Which is kind of his thing, right? There was
Absolutely.
my nuclear button's bigger, right? With North Korea,
I've got the biggest nuclear weapon. I've
it's
got
the most fantastic.
I'm the best at the military.
Nobody's better at the military than Donald Trump. Billions and billions.
Yeah, man. So they were definitely master debating last night, dude. Absolutely, man. And that's what it felt like too. Felt like that's what we were watching.
They were just ejaculating all over America.
Yeah.
And oh god, dude. If anything has proven my point more, I mean, nothing has. And I'll just say that.
Nothing has.
You guys know my stance on politics, and I still, after watching this debate, am seeing people fight over who's the lesser of two evils. And you know, I think they're both sex offenders, honestly. If nothing else, that much has kind of been figured out, right?
Pretty much.
Old Sniffin' Joe, and
Oh goodness.
then there's just you know
The whole thing with
the whole
Pizzagate.
president and
All of it.
Pizzagate and grabbing him by the pussy and all the rest. So, and then there's the pictures. Have you seen the pictures that have been coming out?
I've seen a few pictures.
I've seen like this information coming out that Donald Trump worked with Jeffrey Epstein and all this, right?
Mhm.
Now, they were friends. And I'm not going to say anything that I can't validate here. You know, I don't know for sure what happened, but there have been a lot of these pictures of like Trump looking kind of like conspicuous
Yeah.
with underage girls, and it's creepy.
Sounds about right.
And Joe's creepy too, sniffing little girls and shit,
Oh,
sniffing
goodness.
everybody.
And
And he
this
falls asleep. He can't stop like falling asleep while he's doing shit. That's why I call him Sleepy Joe.
Sleepy Joe. Well, shit, man. I mean, what do you expect? They're old.
They're old.
They're
They're
old.
so old. If we're even gonna okay, so this is a stupid game we play as a country, right? To figure out who's in charge. But if we're gonna play this stupid game still, like, give us some like young, like
Well, you know what they say. You play stupid games, you win stupid prizes.
somebody with some charisma, some years ahead of them maybe.
Some years ahead of them. I don't know, man.
That man could collapse in the Oval Office any day if we vote him in.
Back in
I
like
think.
2016, there was a meme floating around saying, "We just need to go back to the monarchy with the queen for a few years,
Fuck, dude.
start over."
Oh my god. You know what that reminds me of? This is kind of off topic, but the feminists, the crazy ones. I'm not
Mm,
condemning all of feminism, but you know the ones I'm talking about.
yeah.
They call them SJWs, the
What?
crazy hair and the 90
SJW?
something genders. Yeah, social justice warrior.
Ah, okay.
It's the people that call out like transphobia, racism, and whatever else
Yeah.
they can. When it's not really there, they just kind of like, you're raping me because you said hi on the street. I don't know you. You're a rapist. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, whoa. I wasn't even saying hi to you. I was saying my friend was walking up behind
Oh,
you.
wow.
There's just a lot of crazies out there, right?
Yeah.
So, but I don't know who it was, but there was some feminist on what's that fucking show on the news on BBC with what's his name? Is it on BBC? The British guys. The one guy. I know his name. Why can't I think of it?
Is this an American show or a
No,
British show?
it's like British news. He's
No idea.
really famous.
No idea.
I know
Robin
his-
Leach.
No. What's the fucking... God damn it.
What
never gonna
what
think
if
of it.
when you type in BBC it brings up the other thing?
That's literally all I search because I don't know any.
Don't look
very
at
much
images.
More,
Just don't look
about
at images,
the guy.
bro.
I can't even confirm that he's for sure on BBC.
I can neither
But I know
confirm
his
nor deny.
fucking name. I just can't think of it. Anyway, it's a stupid little story. He was debating some feminist on the news program, and she was talking about the patriarchy this and the patriarchy that, and he slowed her down, and he was like, "Hey, can you define patriarchy?" And she was like, "Yeah, a system created by men, run by men, where men rule the world." And he was like, "You understand that we're ruled by a queen, right?" And that most of the people in British Parliament are women.
Wow. Yeah. The patriarchy.
He's like, the Prime Minister's a woman. And I could be like,
This is a
I could be
matriarchy.
falsifying some of this information by accident.
But we do know that Queen Elizabeth II is the queen.
She is the queen. It's
She's the top,
literally
the head
a
of the
monarchy.
monarchy. Yeah.
Now I gotta know this fucking guy's name.
I don't even know what you would.
I'm just gonna look up British guy until
BBC
I find
British guy. I think that's the worst thing you could have looked up. Is he a newscaster?
it. Yeah, he's like a.
Just
anchor.
put in that. And I feel like the British part doesn't have to be specified in BBC News.
Don't
Just
fucking
saying.
tell me what to.
Hey, I'm
Okay,
just
sir.
helping you out. Is it?
He might not be on BBC. Is the thing. Like I don't know. I'm just thinking that because he's British.
Just yeah, British news anchor. Oh, wow. / male or man. Makel? That is not how you spell that.
I'm typing with one hand. Give me a
Make?
break.
That's still
Damn.
not how you spell male.
Dude, give me a fucking. You're never gonna find anything.
Nah.
Oh my god, yeah, he's probably not on BBC because I don't see him anywhere.
So you're sitting here lying
He
to
could
me
be
and the
on
rest of the
anything.
listeners.
It could be a podcast for all I fucking know. I'm not a fucking genius.
Why don't you just put in uh feminist also on the end of that?
Let's see if his name comes up.
Nope, not Ben Shapiro. It's definitely not who we're talking about for a second week in a row.
Versus British guy.
And versus British guy.
Dude, this is bothering me so bad because it's not like I don't know the guy's name. It's like, I had a psychologist tell me what this is, but when you have something on the tip of your tongue and you're like, I know the word, but I just can't.
Mm.
The more you try to think, you're not gonna it's some kind of phenomenon where your brain actually blocks the information.
Yeah, it's like you ain't getting this from me.
The harder you try, the more unlikely you are.
Or maybe you should stop trying.
Well, I'm not trying to think at this point. I'm just trying to find it on the internet. There's got to be a way to search it.
Probably. How recent did you watch this?
I didn't watch it on this YouTube. I'm on the Convosaries right now.
Okay.
Okay, screw it.
We'll find it later and put it at the end of the video.
I will remember next week, and I'm gonna be like, "That's his fucking name."
Okay. I'm down with that.
That's how it always happens.
Yeah, you know, it always happens that way. Anything else?
I think I've got it off my chest. Did I cover everything? Did I say everything I wanted to say about the debate?
Probably not.
I don't know if I really drove home the point of what I was trying to sell, that the president was denying the whole race thing. That's pretty much my point. I know I probably made it a whole story, but that's
which it should have been. It was more of a story than it was.
I mean, like I said, he was doing that with every topic. So it was hard to tell if he was intentionally trying to get away from the topics because as the other topics got brought up, he's like, oh, I already talked about that, and then he starts going off about other shit.
Right.
The moderator had to say, oh, we're talking about this still.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I think the biggest thing was he was given multiple chances, and he told him multiple times, this is what I want you to say. Tell us if you
answer this question.
Racism.
Right.
Or not. And then he turns around. Well, the real problem is the radical left. No. Do you condemn racism? Yeah. Well, the radical left.
Yeah.
So that was pretty disgusting either way, no matter what he was trying to do. But honestly, I can't make a case that he's not fucking racist. So let's just leave it there.
Yeah. Let's just leave it there. I like that idea. So guys, and we appreciate you guys for listening on whatever streaming platform you're listening on. We appreciate you guys for watching on YouTube at Convosaries. We don't forget we also have a reaction channel that we're currently working on. So go follow us on YouTube at Convosaries Reacts. Look us up if you're looking for the podcast, Convosaries on everything, and on Facebook, Convosaries Podcast. I have been Reg Travels.
Wow, and I've been your other host, Trevan, the chosen one. You can find me at on Instagram at the chosen one. It's kind of hard to spell, so it's up on screen. And that's about it for me this week. Thanks for coming again. Thanks for sharing your Monday with us or whatever
your
day
time.
You listen.
Yes, don't forget to go follow Dash at Dash Makota on all platforms.
Oh yeah.
And we appreciate you guys for joining us. We love the shit out of you. And until next time, peace. Bitches.